Microdrone 3.0 Review. TV folk love using them for lush aerial shots of castles, farms, old buildings, you know the ones. Joe Public loves using them for getting into trouble by flying somewhere he can't trespass himself. If all you want to do with your drone is kick up some mischief, then it's unlikely you'll want to fork out a couple of grand for the privilege. That's where the Microdrone 3.0 is supposed to come in. Launched and funded through Indiegogo, the idea is a small, affordable drone for everybody. It's been an incredible crowdsourcing success story with the company behind it, Extreme Flyers, having raised a whopping $3,294,613. With that kind of backing, you'd think the finished product would be a thing of wonder. But sadly, as I was to learn during my time with Microdrone 3.0's, my career as an aerial documentarian of my immediate surroundings is not to be. With this drone, at least. You can purchase the Microdrone 3.0 by itself, or with a range of accessories, including a camera that attaches to the bottom of the drone, allowing you to record those much coveted aerial scenes. Opening the box, and it's apparent just how micro the Microdrone is. It's even erring on the side of cute, just about. Even if robots rise up and take over planet Earth one day, this one seems like it would be capable of reasonably minimal damage. The Microdrone 3.0 is placed on top of the box, and underneath you'll find all the bits and bobs you need to get it going, namely the battery, the charger and spare blades. There are also a couple of guards for the blades should you be worried about the safety of any passing children or dogs while out flying. Because these things are all fun and games until someone slaps you with a lawsuit. SHONKY charging. Putting these fairly major qualms aside, I hoped piloting would come naturally once I charged drone's supplied battery and started to use it. The charger itself uses a 3-pin proprietary connector, the like of which I've never seen before, so make sure you don't lose it. Once it's charged, you push the battery into the same setup of pins on the drone itself. Be warned, these are flimsily attached and are very easy to bend. Since you can't see the pins to line up with the battery when you're inserting it, if one of these pins is slightly bent out of position, you may do it wrong and end up with no power. If you can get the pins lined up correctly, the LED lights on the bottom of the drone start to flash to indicate it's been switched on. There's no on/off button. To cut the power to the drone, you need to take the battery out. This repeated motion is further bad news for the flimsiness of the pins. Smartphone controls. To do that, you first need to connect the drone's Wi-Fi, which was very straightforward. The app itself is also a lot less intimidating than the remote control, with 2 touchpad buttons to control the up-down and left-to-right movement. The problem here, however, is that with the controls packed into a small space, it's very sensitive. If you push the virtual control up a little too fast, the drone will lift off and fly around quickly. It's something you can learn to get a little bit better at with practice, but it certainly helps if you're already used to how these things work. Every time the drone hit the floor from any height of around 1 meter, the battery and camera would fall off, usually quite near the device, but sometimes a little bit further away. I would advise you keep very close to the drone's flight path at all times, unless you want to invest in a new camera or battery if they fly off into some nearby shrubbery. Looking at social media comments about the Microdrone 3.0 proves that sadly, my experience of its poor performance is not unique. It appears to be built and designed so shoddily that just a couple of crashes are fatal. When you're just learning how to fly a drone, you can't be expected to know exactly how it works, how to fly it, and how to avoid it crashing. Especially when the supplied instructions are so basic and poorly written. While I don't expect the Microdrone to be built from titanium and be super robust for the price point, I also don't expect it to break after just one short half-an-hour outing on a dry, calm day and where the landing is soft grass. Sure, the Microdrone 3.0 is cheap in comparison to other drones. During my time with it, I was able to get just a few seconds of usable footage, and even that is nothing to write home about, so suddenly the cost per second is suddenly starting to look a bit more big budget.